200-year-old hare would be slower than a 200-year-old tortoise.
True. They win the long race. Hello and welcome to the Lore Boys podcast. My name is James. Who else is here today?
I'll get back to you in a bit whenever I'm done charging up. But I'm Ethan.
All right.
It's me, silly monkey, Peter, or stupid monkey, whatever he says.
Yeah. You know, Frieza might call you a stupid monkey if you had a tail.
Yeah.
Yep.
Especially if he watches me drag my hairy knuckles into a room. He'd just be like, oh.
Yeah. So today we are talking about some more Dragon Ball. Do you guys have the patrons? Do we have any new ones? Or
no new ones this week.
No new ones. I think someone named Cameron rejoined, so thanks for that. So today we're gonna cover some of the deities in Dragon Ball. So we're going up to the god level, specifically Beerus, and talk about what it takes to become Super Saiyan God.
How much friendship do you need to kill God?
Beer is good, my friend.
Hey, well, you've predicted it because Beerus is a pun on beer. Wow.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Well, sure.
Yeah.
Is adding an additional syllable to somebody's name a pun?
It sounds like a Japanese pronunciation, right?
That's the one.
No, it's true. It's Sapporo Biru, right?
What is it, like Kanto or Kanto? Kanto?
It's Johto.
Okay.
No,
it's Hoenn was really where I got into it.
Johto's Bizarre Adventure. No, there's
basically any new words in the last 100 years that were not in the traditional Japanese language tend to be the English word for it with "u" at the end. And there's a name for that, which Ethan was looking for.
Yeah, exactly.
Like gorilla is Gorira, which is part of Godzilla's name. The etymology of that. We have two episodes.
Kanji. It's kanji. I just remembered. I guess I will Google it. But yeah.
There you go.
Kanji is the writing system. I don't know anything about it.
So we're building up to Beerus, to Super Saiyan God, but that's the end of our story. But I want to build on what you guys kind of know so far. So I know Ethan couldn't make it to the last one, so I'll give you guys a quick fill in on that after. But what do you guys know? Maybe Ethan first about Dragon Ball, since he's
Saiyans are monkeys. Goku came to Earth as a child, in a spaceship, I think. Then
did he arrive in a spaceship or on a cloud? I don't remember.
Spaceship in the pods.
He learns to cloud surf, doesn't he? Whenever he goes up to
he gets gifted the Nimbus from Master Roshi for saving his turtle in the first season of Dragon Ball.
There you go. So he learns to do that.
Only those who are pure of heart can ride the Nimbus. And Master Roshi, because he likes the prawn, doesn't. He tries to sit on the cloud and he falls through because he's thinking about naked ladies too much.
Right. Okay. He's a six-pissed. Right.
Yeah.
Yes. So he's
as Bray would say.
Well, he gave as a thanks for saving his life. He's like, here's this thing which I can never use.
Yeah, we're saving his turtle. But his turtle.
Yeah. There's Dragon Balls. Obviously, if you gather 7 of them, it'll grant you a wish. Every planet has its own system of Dragon Balls because there's like the Namekian Dragon Balls, right?
Yeah. Power level of those. This isn't in the episode, so I'll fill it in now. Dragon Ball Earth Dragon Balls, you get some wishes, but you only the power of the Dragon Balls. The Dragon Balls were created by Piccolo and Kami, who are 2 halves of the same person. Kami being the good half, Piccolo being the evil half.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah, they created the Dragon Balls, and only what Kami has power to do and Piccolo have power to do together is what the Dragon Balls can't exceed the creator's power. Basically. But the people who created them on Namek were even stronger. So these are like even better Dragon Balls. You can get better wishes. Like instead of reviving just one person, you could revive everybody who died on this day.
Okay. Everybody who was killed when Namek blew up.
Exactly. Were restored to Earth with their big wish. And then there's another level of Dragon Balls where the Dragon Balls are the size of planets. And you could collect those, and someone does, and makes their body completely invulnerable
No.
to any damage.
Now those are some boys nuts, am I right?
Yeah.
Dragon
That is
balls
also
the size of
very
planets.
deserving. That's like there's a different anime I've seen a single episode of. And I saw the last one called Gurren Lagann, where a mech plugs into a mech, plugs into a mech, plugs into a mech. Anyway, this extends to the point where he is fighting God himself and throwing galaxies at him.
It's a mech troishka.
We're gonna get to the god
Yes.
scale today. We're gonna get to the god scale today, but basically those big Dragon Balls exist across twin universes.
I just keep picturing testicles every time you say big Dragon Balls.
Planet-sized testicles
Planet-sized
to be
dragon
collected
testicles.
across
Okay.
2 universes. Yeah.
So I would have.
Well, you've got the Andromeda sack and then the Milky Way sack, and technically the 2 bat wings would actually just pass through each other because there's so much empty space, right?
A scrotum full of 400 billion balls.
It's like the Isaac Newton thing that bounces.
The Newton's cradle, yeah.
Yeah, Newton's cradle.
The executive ball clicker.
Okay, so there's Dragon Balls on Earth. Yeah.
I knew there was Dragon Balls on Earth. I no idea that Piccolo made the Earth Dragon Balls. Piccolo was my favorite character as a kid.
Kami removed the evil from himself, which was Piccolo, and Piccolo used to be ultra big bad guy in Dragon Ball, but he became good guy in Dragon Ball Z.
Because I never watched the original Dragon Ball. I did watch Dragon Ball Z, and so I liked Piccolo, and I remember people used to tell me that all the time, like, he was a bad guy, right? He's
all of your friends used to be bad.
Cannon.
Yeah, Hyper Beam Cannon. Yeah. But in Dragon Ball Z, that's how it goes. They're the bad guy until you beat them, then they become your friend.
Them. Yeah, exactly. Vegeta too, I guess, is a great case in point there, right? I would have assumed that big green dragon created the Dragon Balls.
You know what I mean? Or whatever?
Shenron.
Oh, okay.
Shenron, who we're going to talk about, is terrified of Beerus. So the cat that we're going to talk about today, the deity, he's much more powerful than Shenron. Shenron gets summoned at one point, is like trembling. Oh yes, Beerus, sir. But he's like a huge dragon, right?
I know who Beerus is because I played a Dragon Ball fighting game at a friend's place, and I was like, there's a pink hairless cat in like pharaoh outfit, so I fucked around with him for a bit.
Yep.
I think in the food chain, like cats beat snake, right?
Yeah, this guy
They do have faster reflexes. That's a very good Instagram video. Yeah,
and like they're like true predators, right? Whereas most snakes aren't.
Beerus was originally designed to be a lizard, but the creator last minute changed to a cat because lizards controlling our universe rang too close to home. But
oh, of course.
No.
Yeah, obviously, he was afraid of killing himself by shooting himself twice in the back of the head.
Yeah, exactly.
And putting himself in the trunk if he exposed the lizard gods, right?
Yeah. Japanese anime creator just suddenly gets a call from Reba McEntire who tells him he better not make it lizards.
The lady from Tremors is a fucking lizard? No.
Well, I didn't believe it until she sang the Star Spangled Banner at the Super Bowl tonight, so that's how you know it's a dead giveaway.
Yeah. The cameras kept watching her hologram shift off her body.
Do you guys know the series of shows, like the order of which came out? Because there's like
Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball Z. That's all the shows that there are.
There's Super is the next one.
No,
GT also came out.
That's people saying that Dragon Ball is a super show.
Oh, GT was the snow racer. I got into an accident on one of those when I was young. That was great.
Yeah, there's GT is not canon, so we're gonna be talking. We're kind of like end
they
of
have
Dragon.
Apocryphal text like the Bible in Dragon Ball now.
Absolutely, it's not canon. So
what are we doing? Dragon Ball Enoch then.
We're starting at the end of Dragon Ball Z and leading into the beginning of Super today. So it's like basically the highest power level that Goku has reached is Super Saiyan 3 at this point. And it's going to be his path to the next form, which is Super Saiyan God. Super Saiyan 3 is like super bulky, long hair. I didn't actually include a picture, but and he kind of loses his nose and he gets a caveman eyebrow, like
a unibrow, or like a jutting, an overhanging brow.
Yeah, like the criminal thing in phrenology, right? Like
they found out that this form is like, although super strong, you end up sacrificing a lot of speed. So like Vegeta could even keep up with Goku's Super Saiyan 3 with the Super Saiyan 2 because he worked on speed instead of strength. But we're trying to get past that to Super Saiyan God, which eventually becomes Super Instinct or Super Ego. Super Instinct is Goku's, and Super Ego is Vegeta's. And Super Instinct just means like you don't have to use your brain at all. You just get rid of that delay of watching your person throw a punch, right? Instead of
it's
having
super
to,
id. It's super id instead of super, right?
yeah, like, but so like anytime you see Goku dodge something without thinking about it, leading up to this, like Beerus throws an attack and is surprised that he dodges. It's
All I
because
was
he has
thinking is like it's
instinct
Super
inside
Saiyan
him.
eyelashes, how you like will react to something flying at you and protect your eye.
Yeah, it skips the brain process part, and they train you to use all parts of your body independently of
Oh
another.
fuck! Is Goku learning to use 100% of his brain?
0% of his brain. And only his instincts, basically.
Yeah. Vegeta's going to learn to use 100% of his brain. Vegeta's
Right,
going
of
to take the Bradley Cooper pill.
But Vegeta Vegeta is the one who thinks more about things, and Goku's the one who kind of like golden retriever just runs into problems.
He's a lovable idiot, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, that's just to zoom back. Dragon Ball happens. That's Goku's like as a kid growing into an adult. He has his grandpa Gohan, which who's the old man who found him when he crash landed. And then the first full moon where Goku saw the moon, he turned into a great ape and killed his own grandpa, and then thought his grandpa abandoned him.
That's dark.
When he came back, he's like, "Where's Grandpa?" And then he meets him later in the show.
It's like werewolf shit, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Later in the show, he meets Grandpa in heaven, and he's like, "Grandpa, I looked everywhere for you. I couldn't find you." And it's like a little tear-jerking.
And Grandpa's like, "Please get the fuck away from me!" What the Died in extreme violence, getting pummeled to death by a gorilla. Like,
he's the Revenant or whatever with the bear. So that's kind of Dragon Ball, and you have like bad guys like Emperor Pilaf, who is like this little blue guy. Piccolo's a bad guy. This is where you meet Bulma, Yamcha, Krillin, all the mainstay characters of Dragon Ball Z, which is the next.
Do you think? Because I'm gonna assume you don't know, but maybe you know. Do you like? Is all the lore that we're gonna cover today? All the Beerus stuff and all that, like,
was it seeded in Dragon Ball?
Was it planned from the beginning? Do you think
it was planned before Dragon Ball Super, but not? I think it like near the end of Dragon Ball Z, he was being introduced in the comics because he puts an Elder Kai into a Z sword. He traps a Kai.
Which words mean anything?
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm gonna need to roll back to.
We're gonna get there.
Those two words mean.
We're gonna get there. Kais are in charge of creation in the world. You might remember King Kai, who teaches Goku Spirit Bomb, also voice acted by the same guy who acts Goku.
That's like the
blue man,
like the blackface guy. No,
that's
Majin Buu.
Mr. Popo.
No, Majin Buu is the pink guy. He's made of bubble gum.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
the fat thing, right? Of course.
There's like in Dragon Ball Z, you know that there's like a North Kai, East Kai, West Kai, South Kai, but basically all these guys are in charge of creation. Beerus, who we're going to get to know, is a destroyer. So the yin and yang of the world is Beerus is meant to destroy planets. Kais are meant to help grow them, and this is just the cycle of life.
Okay, there's not like a reason for it. Do they like dislike each other, or are they like amicable to each other? Is like King Kai like, "Oh, Beerus, you're here. Well, yeah, I have the planet all ready for you to smash." Like, he's just made one of those like like the rage rooms where you go and like smash a bunch of plates. Like,
it's like Atlantis.
Yeah, he's just got a business model set up where he like creates a planet and seeds it with life for this guy to come and like let out his angst. Like,
that would be the Angels' role more than the Kais. The Angels are the attendants to the destroyers. So I think there's a photo I have of Whis and Beerus right next to each other. There's like a guy with a halo around his neck, a blue halo, and he's offering food to Beerus, who looks quite happy. So the Angels basically kind of teach the destroyers how to destroy. He taught Beerus how to fight. He keeps him entertained. He feeds him. But you'll find out Beerus is like basically a house cat, the way that he acts.
He looks like a house cat.
Yeah. So when you say, is he amicable with the Kais? He could be. Like a cat could be, but he might have just woken up from a nap and he might be really pissed off. For example, King Kai, where Goku learned to do the spirit bomb, he had a little tiny planet that he trained on. And Goku could run around the whole thing. He could shoot a ki blast and then turn around and block his own ki blast because it's such a small planet.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's cool.
And the small planet, it has 10 times Earth's gravity. We found out later that the reason the planet is so small is Beerus visited King Kai and found his food not satisfactory. So he shrunk his planet to the size of a tiny planet. And he's like, you have to live there forever now. It's just a house cat who didn't like his wet food.
Yeah, sure.
It happens.
Yep. Yeah. So yeah, that it wasn't necessarily seeded in Dragon Ball, but it's mentioned in the manga leading up to Dragon Ball Super. So that Dragon Ball, it's Goku growing up. Dragon Ball Z is Gohan has been born, son of Goku and Chi-Chi. And you start off there with Raditz coming to Earth. Raditz being the first Saiyan you meet outside of the Earth Saiyans.
Right, yeah. This is what we covered in the last episode, right?
We covered what Saiyans were, and Saiyans, like a good thing to know about Saiyans is every time they're injured or hurt, as long as they don't die, they will become stronger. This is why Goku gets stronger and stronger and stronger after every fight, because he's beaten until every bone is broken in his body, but he doesn't die. So as he regenerates, he becomes stronger. This is based on the S cells that are in your body. This is the explanation why human hybrid Saiyans become stronger, because humans have pure of heart, which generates more S cells, which is why a half human, half Saiyan can become stronger than a full Saiyan.
Is right. Goku's not, but his son is. Goku's full Saiyan, right?
Goku's full Saiyan. He was sent out by his father. I'm forgetting his name right now. But you meet his father. His father has a fight with Frieza that the sand planet of Vegeta gets completely destroyed by Frieza, and his father Bardock was there and tried to block the blast, but it destroyed Goku's father along with the whole planet, which is why we only have 5 Saiyans left. Yeah.
I do remember I do remember Rat. So I watched Dragon Ball up to Cell, and I don't remember if I ever watched the end of Cell. I couldn't watch it at home. I'd have to watch it at my cousin's place. So when I say I watched it, I watched I think many of the episodes, because I'd go over every weekend.
You'd only need to catch every 3rd or 5th episode, and you kind of know what was going on.
Exactly what I did. Yeah, I do remember the Raditz one, and that's Piccolo holds him, or no, is it Goku Piccolo holds him and gets blasted through with the Kamehameha, or no? Piccolo hyper beam cannons, and Goku's holding Raditz, right, and gets shot through the stomach.
Because Raditz was stronger than them, and the only way that he could beat him was basically a suicide attempt. And that's what sends Goku to heaven, which makes him run down the Snake Way all the way to King Kai's planet, where he learns to get a spirit bomb, and he gets resurrected with the Dragon Balls, comes back just in the nick of time as Vegeta and Nappa show up. Then he beats the shit out of Nappa, and Nappa's on the ground, and Vegeta extends a hand to him, throws him in the air and fucking kills him. He's like, I have no use for weak Saiyans. Yeah. So he kills his own friend. Vegeta then gets beaten by Goku, and is allowed to leave the planet, because Goku could kill him, but he's like, no, I want to fight him again someday. And then Vegeta goes back.
Was Goku the original himbo? That's the real question.
Absolutely.
I feel like it was probably Hercules.
Yeah. Then you go to Namek, because they find out there's more Dragon Balls there, and they know that Vegeta and Frieza are both going there to ask for immortality, so they go all the way to Namek to try and stop that. They end up destroying all of Namek along with most of Frieza, but Frieza survives.
Well, thank God Frieza's not immortal. It's just ruined for hundreds of miles.
Yeah. Well, there's this scene where Frieza's cut across the torso and just floating through space, but gets picked up and then repaired. And they invade Earth, but then Future Trunks just slices him down immediately.
Yeah, just that was the big buildup of the next season. I guess it was season 2 or season 3, right? Where it's oh shit, Frieza's back and he's so much stronger. And then this purple haired guy shows up and just obliterates him right away. Yeah. You're okay. It's very One Punch Man, where it's just just completely destroyed. There's all this build up for the bad guy for the whole episode, and then it's just oh no, they just destroyed him right away.
Yeah. And then there's after that is Cell, and Cell is an android who is in between that there's androids There's Ginyu Force. There's like a bunch of other ones, but the main big bad is Cell, who is an android used from the DNA of all the Saiyans from an alternate universe. And so, like, whenever they're sensing its energy, they're like, it feels like Goku, Gohan, and all the other ones because he got absorbed in another universe. Cell could just like suck them up, and he starts off as like a weakling, but becomes perfect Cell by the end by absorbing enough androids and people.
Yeah, does he like call a tournament and he's using that to like absorb people?
No, after he reaches his perfect form, he's like, let's have a tournament because I'm
Okay.
so confident now. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Then there's Boo, who becomes Majin Buu, who eventually becomes your friend.
He becomes. I didn't know Majin Buu became a good guy.
Yeah. So there's this guy called Mr. Satan, who's a human, who is basically a wrestler. He just like he talks like this, and he's always flexing.
I think I remember this from the last episode.
And he's talking. He's always talking in the camera. We're gonna save the Earth, and he's always there when the Saiyans save the Earth.
Oh yeah.
So all the people think he saves the Earth, and they think he's the strongest guy, and he gets thrown into a tournament against like real fucking enemies, but gets saved last minute. But him and Majin Buu are best friends.
I think I made a mistake here, brother. I'm a little out of my depth.
Yeah, which is hilarious.
Watch the guy cut the top off a mountain that just like slides down and destroys a village. He's just like, all right, hey.
Yeah. So yeah, that's kind of the Dragon Ball Z arc. And then the last time we talked about Saiyans, they came from planet Vegeta in Universe 7 because they took over like the next door neighbor's nerd planet who had all the technology and they were stronger. So they beat them up. Yeah. They took their scouters.
Good, yeah.
Then they started
the moon up and shook it, right? Just like...
yeah. Then they started working for Frieza, and basically what they do is they go to planets, they wipe them out completely, and then they sell them to the highest bidder. They say, hey, look, no life, perfect planet, great place to live, it's got a few lakes, come on, live here. So that's
weird. This planet's already covered in houses and full of ash in front of like couches and in beds.
Yeah, and their monkey form. Basically, they get sent to planets. Goku is one of these. If you have a certain power level as a child, you get assigned like an ant does. Like you get a worker role, you get a defender role, you get a whatever. Goku was one of the scout, like go out to scout this new planet. And they usually use the lower power levels to send out that because Goku was kind of an underdog. So they're like, we're not even sure if you'll make it to the planet. You're one of our throwaway Saiyans. We'll send you out there. Hopefully you find a good one.
Yeah, okay.
But Goku bumps his head and then loses all of his evilness because then he becomes a lovable idiot, basically.
Right, yeah. He becomes the Iron Giant.
Yeah.
Which I guarantee I said last time because it's my only frame of reference for that.
Yeah.
It's that story.
Yeah. And then Saiyans, like you said, get stronger every time they lose a fight, which is why by the time we get to Dragon Ball Super, Goku has fought all those people we just talked about in Z. So he's ready to fight some like pretty crazy stuff by the time we're in Super.
Okay.
Yeah, so where was I? Dragon Ball. Yeah, so the scriptwriter envisioned Beerus as a villainous character who infects people with evil. So Beerus was supposed to be not a beer pun, but it was supposed to be a virus at the beginning.
Okay. Oh, and Beerus.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It was going to be like a way to basically get in the head of Saiyans and turn them evil. So we could have like an evil Goku arc or like a evil Vegeta again arc.
Sure,
right.
Yeah.
Okay. But in the end, he became more of a lovable cat that does some crazy shit that is definitely considered evil from our perspective, but is needed for the universe. And is kind of friendly, mostly with the humans on Earth, as long as they have good food.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. But still plans on wiping them out? Like, where are we going to talk about it later?
Not his plan. It's not his plan.
Okay, he's not here to. I've been operating on the assumption like, oh, Goku's gonna have to fight this guy because he's here and he's friendly, but he's like, I got to exterminate all life on your planet. You know?
No. Well, it's always a possibility with Beerus. He can wake up from a nap and be upset. So it's always a looming possibility, and he threatens to destroy the planet a lot. And most of the time, it's food or a nap that saves you.
Okay.
Yeah.
I found your bundle of twist ties, Beerus. They were just behind the door that we leave over.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Like eventually, Goku
knocked them under there. You just you just did it. You saw them go under there. Go around the door, dude.
No, exactly. And he's just meowing, building up his key, ready to destroy the planet.
Yeah, pissing on Jamie's bed.
Yeah. Yeah. So like he has his attendant named Whis, who is the angel, and angels' jobs are to attend to them. Goku and Vegeta both eventually train with Whis, like after the story that we're going to talk about today. But the way that Vegeta convinces Whis to train him is he gives him cup noodles for the first time. And Whis is like, "What is this? This is amazing!" And he ends up bringing it back to Beerus. And like, there's a scene where Beerus is like sitting in his throne, and there's just like piles of empty cup noodles, and he's eating them and eating them. So that's an Earth delicacy, as well as a guilty pleasure.
Jamie after some WoW degen, just like piles of cup noodle canisters all over.
Absolutely. So Beerus, his Whis, Whis is his attendant, which is whiskey, beer and whiskey.
Okay. I thought it'd be like a German name, like Vice.
Could be, but they just say whiskey.
Okay.
And the cat, who is Beerus, is modeled after the 14-year-old cat who is living with Akira Toriyama. It is a Cornish Rex, which I didn't look up.
It's like a Sphinx, but it has very, 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 very short fur. It feels like velvet.
Oh, they're so cute.
A buddy of mine's parents have it. Yeah.
Cute.
Had one. It may be dead at this point. I have no idea how old he is, but.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So he's got the big Dragon Balls. This picture.
Oh my god! Holy shit!
Look at those hangers.
Yeah,
man. I can see in the face, definitely, like the big ears and like the narrow face.
It's like, you know how like a Sphinx is like the base model cat before you put anything on it. Yeah. The first pass would be a Cornish Rex because it's just the undercoat. But
when you dip it in the bucket of hair.
Yeah, by
dip
the
it in
ankle.
the glue.
Yeah,
dip it in the hair.
Yeah.
Yeah. It also takes surprise design from ancient Egyptian deities. So
yeah,
looks
those guys love their cats.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, you can tell the outfit, right?
The circular necklace is like the dead giveaway. It's very
with
iconic,
like the skirt,
Cleopatra.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep. Yeah, so that's kind of a good intro. We caught up on what we know last time. We kind of know a bit about the creation of Beerus and where they were coming from, the cute cat. But I think we can get more into the story of Dragon Ball Super and what happens after the break. Beautiful. All right, welcome back. So we covered Dragon Ball a little bit. I'll be honest, I only watched like the first few episodes of Dragon Ball, and then they all turned into French episodes on the legit website I was watching. So although I could follow, I wasn't following as closely as I was in English.
It's not that is suddenly not a like when you're watching something in a second language, it's like that's not a second screen and like activity anymore. That's like I gotta sit and think about what they're saying here.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, so we're going to be talking about more about Beerus, who, as I mentioned, was the destroyer for Universe 7. I don't think I went over the Dragon Ball multiverse yet this episode.
Yeah, okay. So just to recap.
You had implied it in the last one. This does sound familiar.
We talked a bit about it, yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't listen to that, so I'm not recapping that. I'm recapping the first half of this episode because I'm a little feverish and not paying such good attention. I'm
most listeners, most listeners won't remember. So yeah.
So Beerus destroyed Cell's universe, which was Universe 7.
Hasn't destroyed any universes yet. He destroys planets whenever he gets food and he doesn't like them.
Okay.
Yeah. He's resident to Universe 7. He's our caretaker or destroyer.
He's from Universe 7. Are we? Yeah. So we're in Universe 7. That's the canon universe.
Universe 7 is like the base universe of Dragon Ball Z, and into Dragon Ball Super is where you start to delve into the other universes a lot. That's where Future Trunks came from in Dragon Ball Z. So there is a little bit of interplay of the universes, but most of
Cell, you said, right? Didn't you say Cell came from another universe?
Cell, I think. I'm not 100% sure on that because I know he lands on Earth. He's in both universes and he succeeds in one of them and he fails in another, but I don't remember where ours came from.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, it might be more confusing than anything to look it up, but do your best. Yeah. it's not that important where Cell's from, but most of everything is Universe 7. And we have our Destroyer, and they create balance in the world by destroying, and then the Kais are in charge of growing or nurturing growth. Okay. And Destroyers are feared by basically everyone.
Would the Kais not simply travel to a planet and teach them to make delicious cat food?
That's what they should do. I don't know why they don't do that, honestly. Because it's been a problem, but
just like a galaxy-spanning ramen farm, right? Like would be great.
They need something, yeah.
I looked up King Kai, and the first link was 10 things about King Kai that make no sense. And the fact that he doesn't make cat food is not one of them. Number 10 is he owns a car.
Yeah.
Doesn't make no sense.
What,
apparently.
can he fly?
He does. No, he has a car parked next to his house on his little planet, and there's one road that goes all the way around, just like a ribbon around a sphere.
Like a band on a pool ball.
Yeah, exactly.
That's great.
He's never been shown in a fight. Apparently, that makes no sense. And also, he finds bad jokes funny despite being around for millennia. That makes no sense. Apparently.
In the Kakarot game,
after 4,000 years, I too would love dad jokes. Are you kidding
absolutely.
Me? Like, it's all that's left.
In the Kakarot game, you have to tell him a joke. And I told him this, you have 3 options to tell him a joke, and I can't remember it, but I told him the same one that was in the show because I had just seen it, and he lost his shit. And I was wondering if I chose like the ones that weren't in the show, if he would have laughed.
A different outcome, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Next playthrough Kakarot, we'll see. Okay, so yeah, any universe has its destroyer. Just try and think of most of everything that's ever happened has been Universe 7 so far. Beerus exists in it. The multiverse, the way it works, at the beginning at least, there's 13 known universes. And every universe has a twin universe. So they go in pairs.
Oh yeah, I remember you explaining this in the first episode.
Yeah.
It's starting to come back to me.
If you add them up to 13, they're a pair. So 7 and 8. 6 and 9. Wait, no. 7 and 8. What's 7
Feels like
plus
it would
8?
have to be an even number.
What's 7 plus 8? 15.
Well, like 7
15?
in the middle would be
15.
the unique one.
Wait,
because you'd have like.
Is it 7 and 6? Because 7 and 6 would add up to 13.
Maybe it was 7 and 6. Yeah, multiverse. Because Dragon Ball Multiverse is also its entire old manga. So it's
Google's. Does 6 and 7 add up to 13 in Dragon Ball Super?
Yeah. Champa.
Cell came from Dr. Jiro's lab. I can't find anything about what universe he came from.
Because he exists in all of them. But his whole thing is he's like Android 19. So he has to absorb 18 and 17 to become his. And I think even 16 was there. But 16 self-destructs to try and blow him up. But then they find out that Bulma had removed the nuclear bomb out of him whenever they were tinkering with him. Because they're like, nah, that guy, he's on our side. He probably shouldn't have a nuclear bomb.
Yeah, he doesn't need a nuke.
But he could have destroyed Cell with the nuke. But he held on to him. He's like, don't worry, everyone, I've got this. And then nothing happened.
Oh, no.
Feels fucking bad, man. Edging.
Yeah, sorry, I had that wrong. His twin is from 6, not from 8. Yeah. So 6 and 8 are twin universes. Whenever you see like other Saiyans that come from another universe,
7, right?
6 and 7. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah,
thank you. So there is like the Saiyan planet Vegeta. In the twin universe of 6, they never even called it Vegeta. They never left their planet of Seldala, which is like salad. Get it? Because Kakarot is carrot, Vegeta is like vegetable, and Raditz is like radish, and they came from the salad planet.
Okay.
I never realized that. But that's fun.
Yeah. So their real planet, they never left it in Universe 6. They stayed there, and there is a whole Saiyan planet in their twin universe. So that's how they get to introduce more Saiyans who are not the offspring of Vegeta and Goku.
Okay, the classic, like, writes the story, like, and then all the Saiyans died, and then, 15 years later, still writing the story, like, fuck, we need more Saiyans. Like, it's from another universe, and the Saiyans are still alive and happy in this.
It's a comic book trick, right? Like, like New 52 in DC is like the reset, the new universe or whatever. Like when we did the Green Lantern ages ago, right? Like they travel through universes and whatnot. And even like there's some Transformers stuff that is the same thing.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, it's, Marvel too, like the whole, like, Marvel zombies, like, here's all these superheroes that are dying getting turned into zombies, but it's really just like a couple of universes worth,
Yeah.
Not all of them. Not the ones you know and love.
Not all the Iron Mans.
Yeah.
So like the end of Dragon Ball Super, this is like jumping way, way ahead, is they have a tournament of power across all the 13 universes, and whoever wins, all the other universes are destroyed, and then this is the only one true universe left. So that's later. I don't know how that resolves, but that is like what Super's building up to.
Could you
As
could you
not
opt
an anime
out?
guy, those stakes seem too high. That
Yeah.
is obscene.
Could you opt out? Like, could we just be like, oh, we're not sending anybody?
Goku would never opt out. He's like, I get to fight everybody, the most powerful in all the universes, and he's just excited about it. The first time he meets Beerus, he like, please, sir, can I have a sparring match to a guy who is the destroyer of the universe? You know, and,
Right, okay.
Yeah, Goku just
Fuck's
loves.
sake.
He
He's gonna get
fights
us all fucking killed. Goddamn
absolutely.
asshole.
More than once, he's put the Earth at stake for his own like training,
For his
more
own
than
super ego.
Yep. Yeah, I guess so. Maybe he's more like Vegeta than he cares to admit.
Yeah, I
No.
mean, isn't he just all id since he's kind of like a dumb idiot who loves food and just wants to fight?
Yeah, he comes from the Kame school, which Mr. Roshi, Master Roshi. That's it. Master
Kamihami?
Yeah, that's how he learns the Kamehameha. It's the school of the turtle. So sleep well, eat well, train hard. That's the 3 tenets of his training.
Of a hard back.
Outlive, yeah, exactly. Outlive Charles Darwin, have sex 4,000 times. That is the way of the tortoise.
Absolutely, it beats the House of the Hare or whatever.
Yeah. I mean, if you find me a 200-year-old hare, I'll admire it as well.
A 200-year-old hare would be slower than a 200-year-old tortoise.
True. They win the long race. So like I was saying, Universe 7 has its twin universe. So Universe 6. So there's also a destroyer for Universe 6, who happens to be Beerus's twin brother, Champa, who is the chubby cat that is next to him. So they're the destroyers of the twin universes. They're brothers. And as you can tell from the picture, they're not exactly huge fans of each other.
There's some brotherly animosity there.
Yeah.
One of them is fans of diamonds. One of the others fans of circles. You know.
Yeah. He's also a fat purple cat, and he has red pants. What is the mortal enemy of the skinny purple cat with the blue pants?
Yeah,
Yep.
exactly.
And go figure, their angel attendants are also siblings, brother and sister.
Right.
So these angel attendants are like often kind of like knowing their cats very well, getting them out of like destroying things that they shouldn't, or misbehaving, or
Her cat's
making
too fat and stupid for a collar, just like mine.
Yeah.
Whereas
She's-
Beerus has a collar on.
In the show, they're
An
always
An Usek or an Ushek color.
she's always fat
The ancient
shaming
Egyptian
Champa.
color.
Oh yeah.
She's like, yeah, like I just watched an episode last night where it's like a beach episode where they have like a baseball game, and Champa is like going to be in it, and his attendant's like, shouldn't you do a little maybe running or preparation for this? And maybe if your physical condition was better, you'd be okay.
Do they have the ramen noodle guy coming in the baseball stadium? Just like, noodles, get your noodles here.
So the first tournament of
throwing like boiling hot cups of noodles.
you know, like the t-shirt cannons where they used to shoot subs out of the cannon,
Yeah.
just like boiling hot noodles to the face. Yeah, so actually, speaking of the ramen noodles, Champa finds out that ramen noodles exist in Universe 7, and this is how the first tournament of power happens, where they're like, okay, our best in Universe 7 against your best in Universe 6, and if you win, you get our Earth, because Earth is destroyed in Universe 6.
Okay.
But Champa wants Earth because that's where ramen noodles come from. So they're like, okay, we'll fight. If you win, you get the ramen noodles. But if we win, we get the planet-sized Dragon Balls or Isaac's nuts or whatever.
Okay,
Yeah, that seems like one of those like Cortez trades from like
Yeah, yeah, where you can wish for like immortality. You can wish for literally anything in the universe, like more power. This dragon is not scared of the destroyer.
No, you
I'm
definitely
gonna give you a porcelain bowl, and I get to go breathe on everyone I meet. Is like kind of the very unfair trade that they made at that time, right?
You do not get to wish for anything because you presumably can't wish for the Earth to be back, and you can't wish for ramen noodles, right? Otherwise, Champa just would.
Yeah, I guess he could. I guess it's important to say that he only had 6 of the 7, so he hadn't found the last one yet. So he
Okay.
Do
couldn't.
people live on
Yeah.
the planet-sized Dragon Balls? Is there like a Dragon Ball society on them?
I don't think so.
No, too bad.
I watched the episode where they did gather them, and it's super trippy, man. Because there's like an intergalactic sized golden dragon, and to make the wish, you have to say something in like an ancient language, and at the end go peas and carrots for please. Because I don't know, Funimation made it that it means please, I guess.
Okay, yeah. Oh, peas and
anyway-
carrots is like Jesus Christ, I think, censored.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, I've heard
something.
like mind your peas and carrots, but
Yeah.
Anyways, there's an intergalactic sized golden dragon and it eats everyone. And then you like travel through this like trippy dimension shit. And then you meet a golden dragon inside him. And then you get the wish. Like it's all very like so interdimensional that like the human minds couldn't or sand minds couldn't understand how they're getting there. So very
Right,
trippy episode.
Okay.
So yeah, we have Champa and we have Beerus. And they're brothers. They still do love each other, but they have animosity, right? And they always have like friendly competitions, like fight my best people for your best people. And it's as much like entertaining a cat as more than like it being like a practical thing to get food, you know? It's like
Yeah, I wouldn't trust mine if she had power.
no.
use
Absolutely
it responsibly or intelligently.
no.
Yeah, no, not at all.
So the lore of Beerus and Champa, why they are at each other's throats all the time. On one of Beerus's birthdays, he ate the only puff puff fruit that was on his cake. But it was somebody else's birthday on that day too, because they're twins, right?
Okay.
So only one puff puff fruit. He eats it. Champa was like, "What the fuck, man? I wanted the puff puff fruit." So they got into a fight that destroyed galaxies, and were like peeled apart by their angel attendants to be like, "You will destroy the universe if you continue your cat fight right now." Yeah. So they agreed from now on, all of our competitions will be food based. So every 1,000 years they get together and they bring the best food from their planets and they share it with each other.
Okay.
And that's how we see the ramen noodles. That's how we have the first tournament of power within Dragon Ball Super.
Is
So.
puff puff fruit, a real thing?
I've never heard of it, but there's
It's did they sing a song about that? Puff puff fruit.
Puff
Right.
Puff Pass.
Mhm.
Yeah, I don't know. They like all the food in Dragon Ball is giant.
Yeah, I found a giant man called Puff Puff Fruit. What the fuck is this?
What?
I'm sending it. Don't worry. I
I
have
should
no
hope
fucking
so.
idea what this is.
I want to know who this big friendly giant puff puff fruit is.
Okay.
It looks like One Piece from like the
Huh.
From
I
I couldn't.
eye on the T there. Who's that? I don't know. That's another anime that doesn't have to do with Dragon Ball, but that is a big man. It is a big man.
Charlotte Daifuku Puff Puff Fruit Lamp Man. One Piece. You called it. How the fuck did you clock that?
Isn't that Luffy the eye on fruit?
yeah, or it's that what the eye being the silhouette of a character that looks like they might be from One Piece is
Okay.
what made me think it.
Anyways, that's neither here nor there.
One Piece episode when, Ethan?
Never. Well, not for me anyway. Wait, you think I'm watching 800 episodes of an anime to do a podcast? No thanks.
Yes.
So we have our cat fight, almost destroys the universe. They get peeled apart and sent to their beds, and they decide only for the good food now. Around this time, we find out that Frieza, who killed Planet Vegeta and Bardock, was ordered to kill that planet by Beerus. So even though Frieza was like, all the Saiyans hate Frieza because they destroyed the planet, Frieza did have an interest in destroying the planet because it was prophesized that a Super Saiyan would emerge and kill Frieza, which Goku did. But
It's another Egypt thing. That's like also Moses and like the plagues and whatnot.
the Super Saiyan caused the plagues?
Well,
Yep.
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Goku could probably part the Red Sea if he tried.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
He does things like that in the show where he gets like thrown to the bottom of the ocean, then powers up and like makes a hole where he just like zoots out of.
Come on through, Jews! Like, let's go.
Yeah, and Goku made all the tunnels in New York, and So an oracle fish tells Beerus one day, it's just like a fish in a bowl, and he asks
I
a
was
question.
gonna say that as if it was stupid, but that's great.
Yep, a fish in a bowl, and he's like, he tells him, "Oh, there's something that will keep you endlessly entertained. But my mind's slipping. I gotta go back to sleep." And
A dried leaf got into my place earlier today, and my cat went ballistic, dude. That'd be great.
So the fish like goes back to into the bowl, and then the cat's like, "No, wait, you have to tell me more. Can you remember the name of this? What is the name?" And then the fish says nothing, and then the cat threatens to feed the fish one time less a day. It's like, "I'll give you 2 meals a day instead of 3 from now on." And the fish says, "It's called the Super Saiyan God, and it's going to be the best thing ever."
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
So
they give me more bug pellets.
yeah, this is it's because Beerus is so powerful at this point that he never even uses 10% of his power, like in millennia. So something that could rise to his speed and power, would like have him like batting at a Super Saiyan God for hours or something, you know? Like a cat does. So what does Beerus do? Takes a big old nap in anticipation, and in like they'll sleep for like 21 years and be like, "Oh, that was a short nap." So like you can imagine that a celestial being like a god like this can sleep for hundreds of years.
Right.
Yeah. And this leads us to the events of Dragon Ball Super. So this is at a peaceful period after you beat Boo. Gohan beats Boo. Gohan. There's like a point where I watched it recently, and it's kind of cheesy. It's like the Boo's like, "Whoa, what's a kid like you gonna do to me?" And then Gohan's like, "I'm no adults," and like punches him in the stomach. But anyways, yeah, Gohan beats Boo eventually, and this is the peaceful time. Chi-Chi convinced Goku to get a job, so it opens up, and Goku's like in a field
Is Chi-Chi
working.
his girlfriend or wife?
His wife.
Yeah.
Okay.
Who he meets in Dragon Ball as a kid. They meet as kids, and her dad is a giant who lived on a burning mountain, and he was like an evil guy. But you, as Goku, go to see Master Roshi. You find a cloud that gives enough air to blow out the mountain, and then you save the mountain. The evil giant becomes your friend, and you marry his daughter named Chi-Chi. So
Nice.
Chi-Chi's strong. Chi-Chi's very strong, and the women in Dragon Ball Super especially are very important, because I know it's like they're kind of trad wives where they stay at home and they like make things like a lot of food and stuff. Bulma being a scientist,
and magic sons apparently.
Yeah, but the Earth would have been destroyed several times over if had not been for Chi-Chi and Bulma's cooking. So she saves them more than once.
There you go.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, good.
Yeah. So Gohan marries someone named Videl, who is the daughter of Mr. Satan, the wrestler.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so she's like dark hair, short hair, blue eyes. Yep.
You
And
did like a pose here, which I guess since you're capturing the video, maybe people will see it one day. You did like this, or you did like which hands up, like hunchback.
Yeah. They all have their different poses. Vegeta always does like the knuckle like this.
Like he's drawing a bowstring.
Yeah. Goku kind of has like a dab. Yeah, they all have their different poses. I watched this guy who just like like rates their poses and insults them for having dumb poses and stuff, and it was pretty funny. But, yeah, so Videl is pregnant with Gohan's kid, who will be Pan, female Saiyan.
Ooh.
Mhm.
Are there any other female Saiyans in the?
Not in Universe 7. There are in 6. A couple
Like-
come visit eventually.
Okay, you
Angry
do
white
meet
guy
them, though,
YouTube
yeah.
in shambles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Krillin become a police officer. I included the picture of him with hair there. We find out that he's never been bald. He's always just shaved because his hair gets in the way of a good fight. So,
Oh, okay,
Sure.
yeah.
yep.
No, I've got all the authority to just beat guys up. I can grow my hair back in. It's great.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Krillin as a cop, just destructo disking somebody's dog, like.
Yeah. Yeah. Oops.
I fear for my safety.
Yep.
It's just like again, it's just like I guess my only reference for like the big power is One Punch Man, but you've got like the punch through the canyon wall when he's fighting Genos, and it's just like the body cam turns off right before that.
It's like the big like stylized like death, like it says death at the bottom
the death
symbols.
kanji when he does that. Yeah,
that's when the body cam
the
turns
kanji
off,
for turn off body cam pops up.
Yeah. Gohan, although he was the strongest fighter for the last big enemy, Boo, he has become a scholar. And he's lost all his muscle. He's super thin. He has short hair and he wears glasses. And he's into academia and caring for his pregnant wife. And he's a really good husband. He's like, doesn't let her cook. He cooks for her while he's going to school. And yeah. So
that's Gohan.
No. Rest. Your feet are swelling, honey.
Go
Please.
on.
You know that our Earth-destroying cat is going to come by any minute here. Let me.
Yeah, that's it. Right. I mean, so that's funny that like the boomer grandfather Goku, grandfather or father?
Father to Gohan, grandfather of Pan.
Pan.
He's also the father of Goten.
His father.
Goten is a kid now, and Trunks is a kid, and they're both like the two youngest Saiyans, always getting into trouble, and they fuse into Gotenks. But they're awesome because they're just like the two kids who are always like they go in the back of a mail truck and like open this inflatable thing and they get stuck and it's an interdimensional mail truck, so they end up in another dimension by accident because they're like fucking around and
classic hijink, classic kid shit.
But they're also super fucking strong because they're Saiyans and they've already fought against it.
They fuse into an adult to sneak into a porno movie.
Yeah,
I do like that we have like the millennial Gohan who's like taking care of his like pregnant wife, like not letting her cook, like eschewing traditional gender roles. Then we have like Goku, the boomer, who's like very friendly, a good father, but also like lets his wife stay at home and do all the cooking, and then is constantly putting the Earth at risk.
Dude, literally dies, gets resurrected for 24 hours, does not visit his wife, goes to fight in a tournament. Like
straight up, man.
Yeah.
It's fine. She's at home. She's got her cooking and her prescription pills. She doesn't need me.
Yeah. And then we got our Zoomers, Trunks and Goten, who are just getting into trouble.
They're just like bussing and fusing themselves.
Yeah. They can like power into Super Saiyan and they just get like that mop poof that
dude, could you imagine like on the subject of ramen noodle, like the bussin' Saiyan hair?
Oh yeah, hell yeah.
Would it go forwards?
Well, you have to draw it now. I don't know.
Yeah. Just gonna say.
Shit.
So yeah, our boy Beerus, he's having his cat nap and he wakes up thinking of the figure. He sees the silhouette of Goku in his dream. And the search leads him to King Kai's planet, where he flies to that little planet with the road that goes all the way around with a car. Mm-hmm. And Goku's there training. He convinced Chi-Chi to go train because he won like $10 million in a tournament. And he's like, oh, I don't need the money. And then someone's like, no, take that, give it to your wife. Then you could do whatever you want.
What is $10 million worth when you have wish-granting planets?
Yeah, again, you can. There's so many plot holes in this. Yeah. But we just take it as the way it happened.
Let's not peel it back too far.
Yeah, my bad.
Goku has instant transmission. He can teleport at any time. That's one of the things that it's like the Eagles or whatever in Lord of the Rings. It's like, well, why didn't he instant transmission if he could always do that? And,
well, the Eagles were kind of defending their home against
they were busy.
The northern armies of Sauron that were invading. So, like, you can't really blame them. You know what I mean?
Why had shit to do.
Yeah.
Yep. So, Beerus flies on down to King Kai's planet where Goku's training. He gave his wife $10 million so he could fuck off. And,
here, honey, buy yourself some more Valium.
Yeah. And, the god of destruction, Beerus, lands along with Whis, and Whis is the angel. And at first, Goku runs up to Whis, being like, "You're the god. Let me fight you. Let me fight you." And he's like, "No, it's the cat." And then, like,
let me fight your cat.
Everyone's trembling at this point. This is a destroyer who has landed. Like, he doesn't come visit for fun, you know. And Goku's like, "Let me fight. And Beerus like, in my millennia of living, I've never had a challenge like this. So let's try it." Goku goes Super Saiyan 3. It's the long hair, caveman brow. Starts to try and hit, doesn't even get a single hit. And Beerus gets behind him, flicks him in the back of the head, down into the dirt. It's over. So Goku found, like, even with all this power, he's not even close to Destroyer. Not even
He
close.
does have, like, criminal British guy brow, actually.
Yeah, and no nose, right? He misses the nose.
No, I think that's just the anime angle that may have deceived you. He
I
does
think-
have a nose in
does he?
profile that I found here.
Okay. Because I know Krillin doesn't have a nose, and I'm pretty sure, like, Sans stop having a nose at a certain level. Either way.
But he does have, like, TRT eyebrows.
Yeah. Oh, he does have a nose there, yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe it was a
This could be fucking fan art for all I know. I have no idea. It's from a Screen Rant thumbnail that I found on Google.
That doesn't look like the Dragon Ball Z art style. So I think in Z, they didn't have a nose, but
okay.
Either way, they fight. Beerus is like, this must not be the Super Saiyan God I'm looking for. So he goes down to Earth and he looks for Vegeta, the other really powerful Saiyan. So they get there and they go out on a cruise ship to welcome Beerus. They're like, they're feeding him. And they're like, we like to play this game where we have a bunch of octopus rolls and one of them is filled with wasabi. And Vegeta knows Beerus because Beerus has gone to his planet before and like fucked with his dad. And his dad gave him the second most comfortable pillow on the planet and kept the most comfortable pillow for himself. And that's why the Saiyan planet got destroyed by Frieza, because he didn't give the best pillow to the kitty.
You give the bamboo sheets to the guests.
Yes. Yeah. So Vegeta the whole while is trembling because he's picking from this thing, and if he gets the wasabi one, the Earth's dead.
This Russian roulette, like wasabi.
So he puts it in his mouth, and like it has like this shot where his eyes
just like open the fucking chamber of a revolver, push out 6 pieces of sushi, and then stuff 1 piece of sushi back into the revolver and just spin it.
Exactly, it is Russian roulette, and he takes the bite. His eyes widen. The camera changes to Vegeta trembling. Then it goes back to Beerus. He's like, "This is the best thing I've ever had." So you had that pregnant pause, but it was okay.
Of course, yeah.
And then Beerus continues to enjoy the things that Earth has to offer. He hasn't gotten ramen yet. That comes later in the story, but
okay. Right now we're just on wasabi and porn, and it's just like, wow, this place is great.
Majin Buu, who didn't put a picture of, I'll send you one. He's like he's a chubby. He's
a pink dude, right, with the little
chubby,
like the tadpole head.
Yeah,
there's different forms of him, I think.
Because he also absorbs people. He absorbs Gotenks, which makes it. Oh, that's not the right thing.
He does get fucking jacked at one point.
Yeah, that's when he absorbs Gotenks. But this is his form now, and he's friends. He lives with Mr. Satan.
He's very not threatening.
Yeah, exactly, and he talks like a kid, and that's how he talks. So, Beerus goes up to him, and he's sitting there with a whole platter of pudding, just eating pudding after pudding. And Beerus is like, "Hey, can I have one of those? Those look really good." And Majin Buu's like, "No, these are mine." And Beerus like throws him in the air and then blasts him to the bottom of the ocean. And he's pissed off. He's about to destroy the world. And Vegeta's like, "Wait, no. And Vegeta goes and like shoots a ki blast into the ocean, which like makes an octopus fly up. He like ties a thing around his head and makes octopus rolls like fresh from the sea, which calms down Beerus, of course.
Okay.
Food saves them time and time again.
I like I don't know when it came out, but they definitely stole that sequence in Monster Hunter Rise when the cat chefs are cooking your food in that one. There is the cutaway of like the black screen with the white slashes, and then the food just like lands perfectly on your plate.
Monster Hunter also has those giant fish. Like every fish is not just like a little fish; it's like huge fucking fish.
Yeah.
It's the anime food.
Anime food's so good, dude.
Yeah. So that wasn't enough to keep Beerus completely happy, and he starts fighting the Z Fighters one by one. Not putting his full strength. He's kind of just playing around like a cat, like the reason I have scratches on my hands, you know?
Of course.
Toying with his prey.
Toying with them, yeah.
Yeah.
So
he's broken all of their legs, and then he just bats them under the couch and leaves them there to starve, basically, right?
Yes.
So beautiful. Nature is beautiful.
Gohan and Trunks, they see this happen with their dad / other Saiyan. So they do their fusion thing, and they go straight for Beerus. Beerus dodges and just flicks him in the forearm. And like the cartoon, there's like a big lump,
Okay.
just the flick in the forearm was enough to just completely disarm them.
Okay.
Then Piccolo, Android 17, and Tien all fight at the same time. And all three of them are throwing the punches.
Tien's the circular eye on his forehead guy.
That's right, yeah. And he
Right,
does the tri-beam, which is like a triangle beam.
Like a Porygon from Pokemon.
Yep.
Okay.
So all three of them are fighting all at once. Originally, they wanted that cutscene for him to be, for Beerus to be fighting off with a fork and a spoon, but they decided to go with chopsticks. So he fights off all three of them with just a pair of chopsticks. Doesn't take a single blow. Yep. Then Vegeta goes in, tries to get him.
Why does it make more sense? Sorry, that took me a second.
Because he was
eating sushi.
I guess because he was eating the octopus sushi, and it's an Asian show.
I guess, yeah.
The 4Kids one would be just like, wow, I can't believe he made donuts out of that octopus that he fucking whatever.
So
the sushi makes sense.
Yeah.
But I was like, just the show, like that's not in canon. He's like an ancient cat that like wanders the universe. Why would he not have a fork and a knife per se?
Yeah, fair.
I guess, yeah. He travels to the future of Earth to France to like, get the fork that they invented.
Yeah.
So Vegeta finally goes in and tries to fight, gets completely wrecked. And as a kid, Vegeta was batted away from Beerus and was on the ground and like whimpering while he watched his father get his head squeezed by his foot into the ground. Like his head is on the ground and then Beerus's foot's like squishing.
Yeah, okay, it's like curb stomping him basically.
And to complete the story circle, adult Vegeta gets thrown to the ground and gets his own head squished, and Beerus is like, "You're just like your father, weak," and all this stuff. So,
okay.
Vegeta on the ground, completely dejected. Bulma comes up, slaps the God of Destruction in the face, and
nice.
Bulma's not a fighter, right? Beerus the cat fucking backhands her. She goes flying down, and this is like an iconic part of Dragon Ball Super. Fucking Vegeta gets he's like, not my Bulma, and he goes like Super Saiyan 2, fights, and for the first time he's actually on the back foot, Beerus, and he had to power up a little bit, but he still beats Vegeta, and he reveals that, wow, I haven't needed to use 10% of my power in millennia. That was kind of fun. So, but you are not the Super Saiyan God. Goku, he's there. He fought already on King Kai's planet, so he hadn't fought here because he'd lose. But Beerus was about to destroy the Earth. He starts powering up the ki, and Goku's like, wait. Let me get all the Dragon Balls together. We'll figure out how to do this Super Saiyan God thing, and you'll have your toy that you always wanted. And Beerus like, okay, I can take that deal. I take that deal. You take that deal?
I take that deal.
Yeah,
no problem.
It's a good one.
Yeah,
no problem. Better than getting my head curb stomped.
Yep. So for Earth Dragon Balls, they don't even bother making you go through the process of searching for them anymore. They're just like, oh, the next episode we found them all, because they did that already in Dragon Ball so many times, I guess. Yeah. And you summon Shenron. Shenron, the big dragon, is like trembling because the destroyer's there. You find out about Super Saiyan God because Kami had this information. Kami is really smart guy.
Better half.
Exactly.
Right.
To make Super Saiyan God, you would need 5 Saiyans to perform the ritual to give the 6th Saiyan the power of Super Saiyan God. And I posted, I think, a picture of
Goku, Vegeta, Gohan, Goten, and Pan.
No, so that's Videl. Pan's not born yet. So it was a whole problem that we don't have enough Saiyans. And they're like, wait, we got a pregnant lady. So they make the circle and they all power up and they put their hands on the pregnant lady. And this
Here, stand in this radiation, babe.
So they power up, and I actually didn't put Super Saiyan God Goku, who turns into a red Goku.
Like his hair?
Yep. The first time he goes Super Saiyan God, this is the energy inefficient way to do it. So he ends up fighting and burning out pretty quickly.
He looks very normal. He looks like just Goku with red hair.
Yeah, absolutely. The Super Saiyan God version afterwards becomes Super Saiyan Blue, which is the power of Super Saiyan God, but on energy saving mode. It's like using an LED instead of an old instead of an old light bulb. He won't burn out as quick.
Yeah.
So here's Super Saiyan Blue.
Right, okay.
But for now, he's Super Saiyan Red. And this is the first time anyone's achieved Super Saiyan God.
Oh, I feel like I've seen him blue. He's got the Hatsune Miku hair, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
For most of Super, that just becomes the new Super Saiyan for most of Dragon Ball Super.
Okay.
The blue
and then
one or the red one?
The blue one. The red one is the first time he achieves it.
It's
and
the Skull Greymon where he hasn't trained hard enough. He's very powerful, but he's out of control.
He internalized the power from the red time, and then he learns to become the blue without the whole ritual and all this stuff.
Okay.
Okay, when you say that's the default Super Saiyan, like for all the Saiyans who go Super Saiyan, or just Goku?
No.
Yeah, is there a blue Vegeta?
Just for Goku.
Okay.
But like they all can get to this power. Like Vegeta gets to this power by training with Whis. Okay. But he manifests differently than
in the original ritual.
Does,
Vegeta didn't touch a pregnant lady to become God.
Yeah. There's like a point because Vegeta is forever the second to Kakarot or Goku.
Yeah.
There's a point in Super where Vegeta convinces Whis to go to the planet to train, where Goku gets left behind, and Vegeta gets ahead for like the first time ever. But then Goku quickly catches up. So if there's ever a time where Vegeta could beat Goku, in my experience from watching the show, I'm not done it yet, it is just before Golden Frieza. That's a whole other can of worms.
Oh, like you just dropped Golden Frieza and like moved on there.
Yeah, well,
shit.
there's
He's
Goku.
back.
There's Goku Black. There's a guy named Zamasu who's an angel who is going to be the next Kai. Kills the Elder Kai to become the Elder Kai. Then uses a time ring to collect all the balls, and then he wishes for his body to be to have the body of Goku. And then he gets himself from another universe and wishes his body to be completely invulnerable to all attacks. So he has two versions of himself. One is Goku's body, which is his sword. And then his shield is his own body that is completely invulnerable from... And then he even asks, why... I can see you... Why wouldn't you just get the Goku to be invincible, right? Well, because Goku's like, no, I like this strength, and I'd rather be fighting like this, and blah, 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 blah. So
Goku Black is very fucking cool looking. His outfit actually changes black, and his hair is pink when he's powering up here. This is very cool.
That's, your dad would call him gay, because that's Super Saiyan Rose.
That is gay, you're right.
I just love, you can tell he's evil because he has one earring. Right, that's the dead giveaway that he's the evil Goku.
So yeah, they both have the earring on the same side, which combines their power. If they put the earring on the opposite, if you put the earring on the gay Rose side and his Goku Black put it on the straight side, then they would combine.
Are they? Do we have screenshots of different dudes? Did I have Vegeta Black or something?
No, he's saying there's the defense body, which is the Zamasu's body, and then there's the Goku's body. And he's saying if those two put there.
Okay. That's a whole arc in Super. I just got through it, and I thought it was really cool because they're like, how do you beat something that just can't be harmed and all this stuff? And that'll be another episode. But
how do you beat something that can't be harmed? Be stronger, I guess.
Yeah. It's this guy took the question like, what happens when an immovable or an unstoppable force hits an immovable object, and says, what if I just take them both and point them at you, stupid? Yeah. What if I don't make them fight each other and I make them kill you instead?
And that's a really interesting one too, because Kai, his whole thing, he's a Kai, which is supposed to be not a destroyer, not killing everyone, but he thinks the best way to grow the universe is to cleanse it of all life and then let the planets grow without he thinks life is like an intrusion and needs to be cleaned, and only gods should be around, not the mortals. So Zamasu kills his own master to get the power of an Elder Kai to blah, blah, blah. But anyways, I thought it was cool because it's supposed to be a good guy who ends up being a very, very bad guy. But we're still on Beerus. Beerus has Super Saiyan God, Goku. They go up to space and start fighting. This like is shown in the show by like a giant purple dragon against a giant red dragon. And every time they hit, there's waves of force that are going out. And they're like, okay, that was 2 waves of force. The third one will destroy the universe. So Beerus goes in for the hit. Goku hits too, but Goku use the exact right amount of energy, not to cause a shock, but to negate. Like equal and opposite just hit each other. So he completely stopped that. In the end, Goku loses, and he's beaten, and he gets thrown to the bottom of the ocean. He comes back. He eventually just burns out because he was burning too bright as Super Saiyan God. And he's like, "You beat me, Beerus." And Beerus says, "I can hear the music while I'm talking about it."
Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball Z.
It's a softer one though. Yeah.
Head.
It's kind of like a touching moment where Beerus is like, "You're the second strongest I've ever faced." And Goku's like, "Haha, only the second?" He's like, "I won't kill you this time. I want you to become stronger now that you're Super Saiyan God, so I have something to play with." And Beerus ends up being like a mainstay in the show, who's always around, always very dangerous. For example, is napping on their planet while they go to Beerus's planet, Vegeta and Goku, to train, like I had mentioned.
Are they all cats on the planet? Is this like a race, or
was
he
planet.
created as a cat?
His own planet.
Okay.
Yeah, he's there all by himself with
just
his
covered in
attendant.
fucking hairballs and
he's in a castle,
like litter sand, just like spread out all over the place.
Yeah,
not deep, but just like he kicked it out of the bucket and nobody's there to sweep it up. Like
part of their training is like changing the blanket while Beerus is still sleeping through many years. Right, he sleeps for like 20 years at a time.
Yeah,
it's like switching the blanket, but he'll like roll over, and like if he's having a bad dream, sometimes he'll just shoot a ki blast. So like they're trying to like put the blanket on the cat, but like dodging like ultra powerful blasts.
You know, schools on Beerus's planets have litter boxes for the kids to go in.
Oh, I can't believe that. I can't.
So to end this part of our Beerus arc, which leads into Golden Frieza, Beerus, he goes back to the planet after beating Goku, and he's about to destroy the entire planet still. He's gonna let Goku live, but he still is going to destroy Earth. He brings up a big key ball, and he falls asleep because he's so tuckered out from fighting.
Aww.
So he goes back to sleep. Whis puts him back in the Universal car and gets him home and puts him back to bed. And
puts him in the Amazon box that he's been sleeping in for 21 years.
Yeah, exactly. And Beerus goes back to sleep. We unlock Super Saiyan God, and yeah, there's a lot more Dragon Ball stuff to talk about after that, like the whole Zamasu Goku Black, the tournaments that between 6 and 7, the tournaments between all of the universe, which I haven't even gotten to yet, which I'm excited about. So if this is something you like hearing about, it's definitely something I like talking about. Yeah, that's been an episode.
You know what I think before we do the complete roll, the lore boys out here, I think you might be the better candidate to cover JoJo one day, Jamie, because you do seem to like the weird anime stuff, and it's definitely me as like a filthy gaijin. In my brain, these things are the same, right? Where there's just like increasing power levels, the goalpost shifts every single episode when they find a new guy or whatever. But I think you might have fun with it. Anyway,
it's the nostalgia.
I'm just trying to weasel my way out of doing that one day.
Yeah, like maybe. I'm not drawn to it. The nostalgia of Dragon Ball Z is really what got. Like, I remember being 8, sitting cross-legged on my babysitter's floor, and like looking up at the Dragon Ball Z at 5:30, YTV, you know, and I just like every day I would be excited, and we'd be playing outside, and my babysitter would call out to be. Her name was Annette. There's like a French lady, and she would call us in, and we'd watch our Dragon Ball Z, and like I don't know, it brings me back to the same place where I went. Yeah. Like whenever I play my Switch, like under the covers, and I feel like I'm like playing Game Boy again, like staying up too late playing Pokemon, and it's just one of those.
I think it's just because I associate all anime in like a similar spot in my brain. I was like, Jamie loves this. This is so fun to listen to, and it's like just a thing that I don't have that passion for, right?
Yeah. This one has been fun. I definitely want to finish Super, and from there, some of my WoW friends who are more anime inclined than me had recommended a few things, so I might get into others, but we'll see. Not JoJo, I don't think, unfortunately.
One Punch Man's great if you haven't seen it.
Yep. And I'm gonna plug my stream first. Go to twitch.tv/loreboyjames. On Tuesday and Thursday, I'm streaming. We did Bug Snacks last time, and we will do more fun things. I see lots of people from the Lore Boys universe from the Discord joining. So if you want like an extension of of the show and being able to interact with me. Ethan and Peter are often in the chat too. You can hang out with us there or in the Discord at discord.gg/loreboys.
Yeah.
I enjoy watching the streams. I've had fun for both the ones you've done. Or both the ones I've watched. I guess you've done 3.
Jamie's a snack and Peter's a bug. Come on down. Peter, you want to talk about Instagram?
Yeah, at Loreboys Podcast on Instagram. Come check out our pictures. Thanks to everybody who follows and likes and guesses when what the episode's going to be about when I post up the art. I think it's been pretty good. My new experiment's working very well. And then still working on the comic. So every time I turn a page, there's always more work, but it's going well. So I'm very much enjoying it. It should be out, shortly. TM.
It was supposed to be out today, so harass Peter, make him work harder.
Tune in next time for Peter's Promises.
Yeah.
He got more Transformers this week. Remember when he said he's done? Did you
get more Transformers?
No.
Didn't you say someone gifted me more Transformers this week?
Oh, I got a free one. I didn't spend money on it. Sorry, I thought there was a financial thing. No, my Transformers dealer, because when I went to finish my collection,
he tried to hide it from us.
Sorry, I thought there was a money thing. No, I did get one more.
Can we find out the Lore Boys Instagram is suddenly private to me and Jamie? Like we can't view it. He blocked us.
Yeah, no. 3 weeks ago, I picked up I finished my collection. Because some girl was just undercutting the competition or whatever, and one of my Transformers dealers, who just is a really cool guy, was like, "Oh, I also have been talking to her." I was like, "I'll just pick him up while I'm there." He's got an oxygen tank and shit, and he couldn't come all the way up the stairs to see me when I saw him. I guess yesterday. So I was like, "No, I'll go get him. Don't worry about it." And he was like, "Oh, cool." And then 3 weeks go by, and he finally comes to get the $170 worth of toys he had paid for, and he was just like, "Hey, listen, thanks." And he just gave me. He's just like, "I know you like the Michael Bay movies. Just keep this one." I was like, "Oh,
I'm just razzing you." Wait, let's get out of here because the beer store across from me closes in 5 minutes. So I want to go.
Oh there. No!
Yeah.
Well, if you like the show, you have to leave a review on your podcast app of choice before Jamie gets to the beer store.
Yeah,
make it 5
3
stars.
days ago.
Make it 5 stars or the thumbs up or whatever the good one is. If you want to support the show, we do have a Patreon, patreon.com/theloreboys, where we got stuff. Check it out. I talk about it every week. If you don't trust Patreon, Loreboys Prime, we're recruiting pregnant interns to touch and become a god. So if you're pregnant and want to help out, consider signing up. Okay, there's going to be...
You've blended my favorites, dude. Blizzard and Dragon Ball Z in the same one.
There's going to be a few responsibilities for you. You're going to be responsible for putting cups at the edge of tables, so any of us at any given time can slowly knock them off.
Yeah.
You're going to be in charge of laser pointers at the Lore Boys HQ. Obviously, making sure that we're always stimulated there. Pete's getting a little chubby, so we need to get him more exercise. He does the double chin. Yeah.
Life's a highway. The universe will be destroyed by a cat.
Yeah, and that cat might be us.
Yeah.
I think that would constitute a Lore Boys.
Lore Boys.
Out.